Some people ask me, why am I so dedicated to representing those that are seriously injured? I mean, if you're a trial lawyer, you can do criminal defense work or corporate work or chase the big money. But helping people that are seriously injured, for me, is more meaningful. You know, from a challenge, just as a challenge, it's so complicated. We've got to put together how the physical injuries have affected a person's life and what they're going to need for the rest of their life. We've got to look at the psychological consequences. We need to look at the family dynamics and the work dynamics and put together a story of the entire life of that person and his family or her family that have been so devastatingly injured. We need to make a plan for the rest of their life in terms of what resources will they need in order to get the medical care, perhaps assisted living support, either now or later in life. What kinds of specialists do they need? All these things. And then be able to understand in detail the medicine. After all, we're going to cross-examine doctors that the insurance company puts up in order to defend the case and cut through whatever stories they have. We have to understand how brain injury works, how spine injury works, what it's like to spend life in a wheelchair, what it's like to perhaps have a limb missing or deal with burns, or to understand the intricacies of brain injury and what it's going to mean in terms of how a person navigates through life. Be able to tell that story and have the knowledge and the experience, not to just tell the story now as to who this person is, but who they will be in 5, 10, 20, 30 years, what those transitions and changes are going to be like. As you can tell, it's complicated, it's passionate, because you have to have passion in order to pursue the answers to all these questions. And then not only to know what the answers to those are, but to be able to tell that as the story that it is, because after all, we're all great stories in our own lives. And be able to share that story and have it understood by not just one person, but by a jury and a judge, by insurance adjusters, by doctors. Putting all that together is an awesome responsibility. It's a great challenge, and yet there's nothing more rewarding than to help a family get back on its feet and put its life back together. And I have to tell you, when that jury comes in and says that you've done the right thing, you've helped this family, there's nothing more meaningful. In fact, the money's not nearly as important as people think. In fact, for me, the money isn't what's important. It's important that my clients get money to get back on their feet. I don't mean that to minimize that. But for me, what's important is that they, as a family, get back to a place where they can love each other, care for each other, and feel good that they've gotten justice. Justice is that feeling that they've been respected, that they have their dignity back, and that they can go forward in their lives and be happy. That's what's important. That's what feels good. And that's the universal truth we all share. That's why I help people who are seriously injured.